Was Jesus Christ, the Son of God, actually a pharaoh? What I am about to share with you is about to blow your mind. Do not click off, because you will never hear anything like this again on this app. So here we go.
All right, let's see it.
Before going down this road, we have to understand that Jesus Christ is Messiah. But where does the word Messiah derive from?
It is a common word across the Northwest Semitic language family. It's found in Phoenician and Ugaritic and in other Northwest Semitic languages, and it most likely derives from East Semitic, probably Akkadian, where there's a word masha'u that also means to rub or to smear with oil.
Does it derive from just the Hebrew phonetic language, or does it derive from something else? The word Messiah comes from Egypt.
No, it doesn't.
It was talking about a cone that was placed on the head of an elite societal member, such as a pharaoh. They would light it on fire and the oil would drop down on from the head to the body, causing aphrodisiac effects. It was only used among the elite or the pharaonic bloodline. This was crocodile oil that they would use, and the name is Messa, which derives from Messiah.
So this is a mixture of fact and speculation. It is a fact that ancient Egyptians are depicted in all kinds of iconography wearing some kind of cone on their head. Here are some examples. Here's one depicting a woman with a cone on her head. Now, none of the iconography or the associated text explains what those are made of, how they're used, or what they're for. So the notion that this is crocodile oil, that it was burned so that it would melt down on them, and that it had any aphrodisiac effects, that's just 100% speculation. And the association with crocodile oil is not even direct speculation. It's based on the idea that the Egyptian word for crocodile, which was masach, must have something to do with the Hebrew word for Messiah, Mashiach. So there's that etymological connection being made, and then they're trying to shoehorn in the concept of a Messiah into this cone iconography. But in addition to the fact that there's no etymological relationship whatsoever between Messiah and the Egyptian word for crocodile, we've actually discovered a couple of these cones in burials. This was published in 2019 in the journal Antiquity, and it discusses the discovery of two head cones associated with two burials discovered at Amarna. These head cones were analyzed. They were found to be hollow. They probably had some kind of fabric on the interior to maintain the structural integrity of the cones, which they found to be made of some kind of beeswax. There is no indication of any melting or any burning or any perfumes or oils associated with the cone, and so it is unlikely that the speculations about this having anything to do with perfume or oils is accurate. It certainly doesn't show any indication of having any association with crocodile anything. And the idea that these cones were associated with anointing is based on speculation that arises from the fact that these cones are sometimes shown in scenes where there is also anointing going on, but they're also shown in scenes where there is not. So the fact that it wasn't burnt or covered in any kind of oil or animal fat or anything like that may have to do with the fact that these are burials, and rather than cones being used actively in some kind of ceremony or ritual, but we have no data that point in that direction. And based on the data that we do have, the claims in this video are wildly inaccurate.
So the point of this is not to get into Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or even Joseph, or how they taught these things and how they were a part of this bloodline.
Probably a good choice.
The point of this is to show you that the word Messiah does not have Hebrew origins. It has pagan origins. And if you are a Christian and believe that Jesus is Messiah, then you will know that the etymology of the word Messiah comes from Misa, which is none other than Egyptian.
So none of this is accurate in any way, shape, or form, and you pronounce the word differently both times you said it.
The reason for this video is to show you that it wasn't the pagans that had it wrong. It was the tribe of Judah. That's why he went to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which was Judah. And that's why we are called Israel. Isis Ra El. Bless you. I love you. You have a great night.
So the name Israel means something like El contends or may El contend, and it long predates its use in the Bible. It's found in the Ebla tablets, it's found in the Ugaritic literature, and it has absolutely no etymological relationship whatsoever to either the name Isis or the name Ra. The oldest known occurrence of the name Israel in reference to the nation of Israel is actually found in Egyptian on the Merneptah stele from around 1208 BCE. Here it is with the letters painted in gold, but let's take a look at a clearer image. So reading right to left, we have the consonant Y, S, R, I, and then a glottal stop like an aleph, and then another R because they didn't have the L consonant there. And then the two figures on the far left are what's called a determinative, and they mark Israel as a people group of some kind. This has absolutely no relationship whatsoever to how they wrote the names Isis and Ra in ancient Egyptian. In Egyptian, the name Isis begins with a type of glottal stop, and when it's transliterated into Northwest Semitic languages like Hebrew, it is spelled Aleph Samek, so entirely different letters. The name Ra begins with the same consonant R, however, it's followed by something that is equivalent to an Ain, which is why when it's transliterated into Northwest Semitic languages like Phoenician or like Hebrew, it is spelled Resh Ain. These have absolutely no etymological relationship whatsoever to the name Israel, and this is pure and utter nonsense.